first live of the day, not the second or even third. This is the fourth live of the day. I did a YouTube live a couple hours ago. I did a TikTok live. I just got done with an Instagram live, and now I'm back for a second live on YouTube. Unfortunately, the first live that I had intentions to upload would not upload, so I'm intending that this one uploads for you guys to experience. We're going to be discussing circumstances not mattering, okay? Now, circumstances are a big topic when it comes to not just the manifestation community, but life as a whole. Some people seem to think that there are certain circumstances that are completely impossible to change and shift, which is understandable given the human conditioning. But I'm here to tell you that any circumstance has the capability to be transformed and shift for the better. But it starts with you, your awareness, your mind, your energy, your vibe, and everything else in between. I am telling you for a fact, and I know this because I've experienced it, I've helped people experience things of this nature, and not only that, but there's tons of stories that you could go online and read, consume, that also reinforce this. Circumstances do not matter. In all honesty, circumstances are fabrications of your awareness pushed out, of your mind, okay? The stories you tell yourself and things of that nature. Circumstances are fabrications of the mind. They don't wholeheartedly exist, okay? They feel real to you, they seem real to you because of your own perceptions involving it, your own attachments involving it. Now let's define circumstances, because this is something that a lot of people, I don't think, necessarily consider. Circumstances aren't always quote-unquote negative things. Circumstances could be a quote-unquote positive thing too. There could be quote-unquote positive circumstances, or quote-unquote negative circumstances that are present. Now I'll give you an example, a very clear and cutthroat example. A negative circumstance would be you being blocked by your specific person on every social media app. A positive circumstance would be you and this person being in healthy communication as a happily married couple with one another. All right? Now, you may be wondering, well, how can I shift my circumstances? How can a circumstances change? Nice eyes. Thanks, man. I appreciate you. Thank you very much. How could circumstances be changed? How could circumstances change for the better? Well, like I said earlier, it starts with you. Starts with your awareness, where you're choosing to focus, what ends you're choosing to focus from, etc. How you doing, Circle Guard? So, if you're dealing with a circumstance where your person has you blocked on everything, what would be the solution? The solution to that would be focusing from the end of being happily married to this person, focusing from the end of being in a happy romantic relationship with this person. And that is going to cause for you to end up experiencing the positive circumstances involving that aspect of things, because those two things cannot correlate with one another. Those two things cannot coexist with one another at the same time. It's like when Neville Goddard quotes scripture, has quoted scripture, you cannot serve two masters at the same time. So you can't be in a reality where you're blocked and in a reality where you're in a romantic relationship or marriage with one another at the same time. It's one or the other, right? Your goal is to make the reality involved with the positive circumstances a predominant thing for you. That's going to require some discipline, some willingness to be mindful, some willingness to choose to be persistent, consistent, some willingness to commit yourself to saturating your being, your mind, and everything in between with thoughts of, me and my person are happily married. We have an incredibly romantic relationship with one another. Who are you? We have an incredibly romantic marriage with one another. Right, you can visualize it. You can visualize a 1-year wedding anniversary. You can visualize yourself waking up to the sound of children on a beautiful Christmas day, and you're celebrating Christmas together as a happy family. Right? That's actually a really good one. I would suggest that. And over time, what will begin to happen is you'll begin to shift who you're identifying as on a core foundational level. You'll begin to shift your concept of self, your conception of self. You'll begin to shift your self-identity. You'll begin to identify as someone that has the marriage on an internal level. You'll start to identify as someone that has the relationship on an internal level. When you're at that level, the seed has been planted, the impression has been made. You will no longer be focused on the negative circumstances anymore. You no longer be focused on all the ands, the ifs, the buts, the time, the how, the force, the trying, and all this shit. You let all that go because you'll identify as someone that has it on a hardcore sorry, I'm talking so fast, core foundational level. Okay? So here's the deal. When you're at that level, when the seed has been planted, your infinite source, your infinite self. Some people call it the higher self, some people call it the higher mind, some people call it God. I call it source, I call it God, I call it unconditional universal love. It's all the same thing, different terminology. God, I gotta calm down, I'm talking way too fast. Right? Okay. When you plant that seed, when the impression has been made, this infinite source will guide you along a series of events that will lead to you experiencing the fulfillment of that which has been impressed in physical form. Basically, whatever impressed must be expressed. Whatever you impress must show up for you to experience in physical form. And as part of that orchestration of events, that which you call the bridge of events, whatever needs to be said, whatever needs to be done, whatever needs to be felt, thought up, acted upon, whoever you need to meet, whoever your person needs to meet, whoever's involved, the family, the friends, your family, your friends, etc., etc. Whoever needs to play their part is whoever is going to play their part as part of the process leading to you experiencing what you want in physical form. Sometimes you may experience the opposite as part of that process. Sometimes you may not. Sometimes you may react. Sometimes you may not. Sometimes you may feel like giving up. Sometimes you may not. But it's all part of the process leading you to experiencing what you want. Now, as part of that process, think of it like this. From the moment, the very instant you plant that seed, it's a beautiful subliminal right there, by the way, actually. So this subliminal is by a high frequency guru. It is titled Chosen, Rich, Lucky in Love, Money and Life Subliminal. Highly recommend it, as it covers a whole wide variety of topics, and it has some really solid affirmations being played in there. I would definitely recommend it. So getting back to what I was saying, how do we know the subconscious has been properly impressed? Right? We're having everybody's yourself pushed out moment here, because that's what I was just about to discuss. So from the moment you plant the seed, from the moment that impression has been made to the moment of fulfillment, that entire middle section is the orchestration of events. That entire middle section is what's going to get taken care of. Okay, now you'll know the impression has been made because you'll feel a certain level of confidence, trust, faith, naturalness, or neutralness involving the desire fulfilled. You'll feel like you have it. You may not be able to explain it, but you'll feel like you have it. You'll feel this calmness, this relief, this neutralness. You'll feel like it's yours, it's done, it's already being experienced. It's being experienced by you right now. The other parts of it is you'll no longer be reacting in the same way, if at all. You'll no longer be getting triggered about the same things that once triggered you. You'll no longer be focused on time or the how. You'll no longer be focusing on how fast you can get it or how slow it may take to happen. You won't be focused on any of these things anymore. These are some of the indicators to be on the lookout for. There's more, but these are some of the really good ones to be on the lookout for, to know if you've successfully impressed the subconscious mind or not, if you've successfully shifted or not. So the entire middle section is going to get taken care of. I felt that way for a while, but then I feel discouraged. And then you probably haven't fully shifted yet. You're probably still clinging onto some quote-unquote negativities, some undesirables, in which case you should probably continue on that journey with saturating your subconscious, saturating your being, so that you can fully shift. I mean, if you felt that way, or you've experienced that, then odds are the subconscious has been impressed, in which case you should just continue being consistent with doing the work. That's another thing. You want to make sure you're doing this work daily. Don't even give just one day a break. Don't do it. Do this work daily. If you're not doing this work daily, it's not a priority for you, in which case it's not really important for you. Things that are a priority for us, that are important to us, we make it mandatory to engage with these things daily. Be consistent daily. Do the work daily, okay? Now getting back to what I was saying. Seed has been planted. Fulfillment of desire. That entire middle section is the orchestration of events, is the bridge of events. That makes sense, absolutely. So that entire middle section is the bridge of events. Everything that needs to happen is what's going to happen in a natural, most likely natural, neutral way, leading you to experiencing what you want. It's not always going to make sense. Sometimes the opposite may seem like it's happening. Sometimes it may seem like it's really happening. Sometimes it may not seem like it's happening. Sometimes it won't happen at all. Sometimes things may be said. Sometimes you'll get triggered. Sometimes you'll react. Sometimes things won't be said. Sometimes you won't get triggered. You won't react. But it's all part of the process. Anytime you experience something that's undesirable, just bring your awareness to the seed has been planted. My manifestation is done. This is the orchestration of events. Because instead, you're going to be like, oh, I'm doing something wrong, and man, what the fuck? Like, what's going on? Like, why does it keep happening? No, don't do that. Discipline yourself. Remember, you always have a choice to focus on what you want to focus on. Now, as far as the circumstances, which is the big thing here, that orchestration of events, whatever circumstances that are present, that would, on a seemingly logical level, deny you from experiencing what you want in physical form is what's going to be eradicated. So, if you're blocked on everything, what's going to happen is the circumstances are going to dissolve, and you're going to end up in contact with your person, because being in contact with your person is a part of the natural process leading to you being married. But make sure you're dwelling from the end. Don't sit there and dwell on, oh, he's texting me and he's obsessed and he's committed to me. Drop all that. That's neediness, that's desperation, that's ego-based nonsense, that's inaccuracy. You want to dwell from, me and my person are happily married. We have amazing communication as husband and wife. We have deep unconditional love for one another as a happily married couple. Bottom line. And even the crappiest thing happening may feel like the end, but it's really the beginning, correct? Give it the meaning I want. Yeah, you could give it the meaning you want. I would suggest that. It's better to give a healthy meaning than something unhealthy. But anything that's happening is a part of that bridge of events. Guarantee it. As long as that subconscious has been impressed successfully, you're golden. And by the way, you're impressing your subconscious mind all day long. It's not a technique. It's not something you're just sometimes doing. And do not be deceived by people or their followers that will attempt to convince you anything less. I promise you, you are always impressing your subconscious mind. It's always happening at all times. Literally, you're impressing your subconscious right now without even realizing it. Okay. So bottom line, point blank period, circumstances will be dissolved. Whatever circumstances, again, like I said, on a logical level, that may seem to be apparent, that may be suggesting that you can't experience what you want in physical form, will be dissolved. 100% will be dissolved. Okay? Naturally. You may not know when, you may not know exactly how, but it will be dissolved. Okay? That's pretty much the main focal point of what I wanted to relate to. Alright. So I'm gonna probably wrap this up, because this is the 4th live that I've had for today. I am a little social media drained at the moment, so I need to reciprocate and recuperate my energy. Feel free to reach out to me if you'd like to work together. I am offering 5 weeks of mentoring for $100 at the moment, which I know is an incredibly satisfying deal. If you'd like to follow me on all the social medias, check the first pinned comment down below. Everything is going to be in the first pinned comment down below. Alright? Otherwise, you guys have a beautiful rest of the day. Take care, stay safe, much love and peace, and God bless. There we go.